You're live.
Welcome everybody to the Cloudy and Rowdy podcast, episode 33. Bang, bang, bang!
33.
This is the fucking Tasmanian Albanian Mitch Phillips. In here at the beginning and shit, fucking
Start that shit.
So it was like we had early controversy before the show because apparently episode 32 ain't on YouTube now, and that shit's pissing me off. And like I was telling Jim, we're gonna have to stop going live because the fucking there's too many inconsistencies with this fucking shit, you know? Like I told him, even on episode 31, I was when it was like at the end, it was it kept saying error with upload, and but then Jim was like, hey man, it's up already.
On my phone it was.
He was watching it on his phone already. And so I just hit delete, upload, the one that was erroring up. And episode 31 stayed, alright? So I do the same thing last weekend with episode 32. I could have sworn it was up.
100%.
I watched the motherfucker in my van. I watched the goddamn episode in my van. And then so when I looked up today, when I pulled up my YouTube page today, it had that error upload shit up at the top. Man. And I was like, fuck it, delete it because I've already watched the episode.
Error upload.
You know?
Get the fuck out of here.
And now, you know,
that's working. It's live.
Yeah, but there's no fucking what's it called, chat room. See, that's why he hooks it into his laptop.
Because you see what I see.
Because then he can put the comments right there. That's what I was trying to tell you. Yeah, you're just on YouTube. That's what I'm saying. That's why.
Do I have to go on the browser? Oh no.
Like I said, people, we're fucking
we roll
live chat. He pulled it up. There we go.
Suck my dick!
Don't call me Daddy in the house. What up, pimp? Bang, bang, bang.
Daddy boy!
The pipes are calling. Oh, and if you didn't notice, I'm in my rain outfit again today. It's a lovely rainy weekend in LA. I fucking love it when it rains. We're expected to have non-stop fucking rain all weekend.
That's good though.
I'm not a rich person in the hills, so I like the shit.
Yeah, my house isn't gonna fall down.
My van ain't gonna float away, so.
Right.
I'm pretty good on the rain and shit, you know what I'm saying?
Did you guys see that video last time we had the big rain that had the mudslides, that Prius that was flooded down the hill?
Half surfing
down
Burbank.
The motherfucker was like, hey, Toyota.
No, but that's the crazy shit, is like that was just bad timing. You got like the craziest fires in a few years, and then that rain just knocked it all out, and like entire neighborhoods just slid down.
Well, yeah, the fire burned down all the barrier that the rain's gonna create mudslides over. You know what I'm saying? Like the fire just burnt down all the shit, and then it just well, it was kind of like a nature's way of cleansing itself, you know?
Oh, she'll do that. Nature, you vicious bitch. I love you, mama. I love you, Mama Nature.
Sorry for the moment of silence. I'm lighting a blunt right now.
No, that's what I was doing.
The moment of silence was for Big, okay? Yesterday was the day that this shitty city took them from us, so, you know.
Don't blame it on the city. It was corrupt cops.
I'm blaming it on everybody in California.
It's been raining in Kentucky for 2 months. Death hacks.
Special K getting lucky in Kentucky, you bad motherfucker. And then, what's that say? Death Hack 7.
Same one. That is Special K.
Oh, okay. Oh. What the fuck is Death Hack?
Then never mind.
Then never mind with that dumbass
Jesus
handle.
Christ. Anyways.
What is that, your fucking gamer handle, you nerd? You know?
Bro, I get it.
Are you on War of the fucking Worlds as Death Axe 9 and shit? Just roasting the shit out of old fucking Special K.
Dude, I have seriously, in the past like 5 years, I slowly I gave my Xbox to my little brother, and you know, I just slowly weaned out to like, I only have one cell phone game now, but that, as much as I don't have time for video games, I don't want to do that shit, there's more productive things, but that game, Plague Inc., have you ever played that? The whole thing, it either started like virus, fungus, or bacterial, and you just
sounds nerdy already.
You just start, the whole thing, you select the country, you gotta start a disease, and then you have like the symptoms, and the like causes, and transmission, so you have to like, every person you affect, you get points, and you have to like upgrade the disease, like pneumonia, coughing, sneezing, like make it more contagious. Just like sometimes you get your ass whooped.
Yeah, I noticed the other day I was looking over at the bench on my van, and I haven't used my PlayStation 4 in so long. You know, there used to be a time when I was on that motherfucker every single day, dude.
Call of Duty.
That's when I gave my Xbox to my little brother. I was playing Assassin's Creed, and when you hit pause, it tells you how long you've been playing on this story mode. And it was like 43 hours, and I just put down the controller.
My favorite Assassin's Creed ever was the one where they had to ship that black flag. That was badass. But fucking, there was one of the Call of Duties, I think it was like Advanced Warfare or something, where they did the same thing. And they showed me how many days and shit I had spent on that game, and I was like, man.
You start prestiging.
You start prestiging.
I mean, you're like,
biggest waste of your
but then you're
time.
like, man, I'm on 7th prestige. I should probably get out of the house now.
Prestige is such an arrogant bullshit thing. All you do, you don't get any better guns, any fucking nothing. No. You get a new logo. So you can show people, look, I'm more of a fucking game dork than you are. You know what I'm saying? Basically, that's all a
class-based animal.
Yeah, that's all a fucking prestige is.
Dude, I hate, there was a switch that happened. There was a point where you would go to like your friend's house, and they were like, they're Call of Duty, you're playing online. It's like super sweet. They got like all the tight guns, and they're like high ranked and all that. They got the badges. And then you're like, oh man, that's super cool. And then like a year passed, and when I'd see somebody who just like had like a badass online profile, I'm like, oh, what a loser. Like, you have played this game for 10 hours, or 10 days. 10 fucking days!
That Grand Theft Auto shit, people stay on that shit religiously, bro. Like,
that blows my mind.
They changed like during Christmas, they put like Christmas light, they decorate the fucking game like a real city and shit, bro. There's snow on the ground, there's Christmas lights and fucking reindeer and shit, you know?
Yeah, but not everyone in our society can have dreams.
No,
some people like to get home and just play, like that's their life. Yeah. They work at a factory and then they go play fucking.
I miss that life in a lot of ways. There's times when I miss that life. When I used to work at Full Wheel Parts, shout out to that company. I was a fucking, 9 to 5er like a motherfucker.
Fuck you, Full Wheel Parts. I know you nothing.
I used to come home and, I used to exactly do that. I'd work all day, come right home, play my fucking games until it was time to knock out, or until one of my favorite shows was on and shit like that. You know? That's how it was, you know. I missed that.
You had to wait for your favorite show to come on. You remember that?
Yeah. That's better though. I like that better than this Netflix, this fucking
You're like, hey, you wanna hang out? No, it's Thursday. I'm gonna go home and watch fucking
yeah, all this spoiled bullshit, have you seen so-and-so? And you'd be like, oh yeah, I just watched the first I watched them all already. And then they slowly they'll be like, oh well, I'm not gonna tell you this part, but this doesn't matter, so I'm gonna tell you this, and then they just slowly start telling you about the shit, and it's like, dude, suck a dick, I miss them days when like it didn't come on until every Thursday at 8 o'clock, and everybody was like on board with that shit.
No, I do appreciate it. It's a better time, but shit's just way better now. Have you watched that show Altered Carbon?
No.
So this dude, he gets frozen in time. They resurrect.
What's it on?
Netflix.
Oh, okay.
He's like a detective, like a super warrior that got frozen for being punished for like fighting the Empire, type shit. But they wake him up to solve. This guy wakes up to solve his own
fucking
murder.
Demolition Man. These unoriginal motherfuckers in Hollywood. Can you not make any fucking thing
Lawnmower Man
original? God damn.
It is probably inspired by Demolition Man.
Oh my god, the audacity of these motherfuckers too.
Yeah, but you make Demolition Man and all of a sudden you can't freeze anybody in any movie?
No, but you can fucking change the plot a little bit. They unfreeze them to help solve murder. That's exactly what they had to do with Sylvester Stallone. Fucking,
it's the future. There's a society that lives in the sky.
Anyway, we don't give a fuck.
This dude got murdered.
You want to watch a good show?
Frozen guy to solve his own murder.
Who gives a fuck? You want to watch a good show? Watch that LA 92. That shit has been off the chain.
Documentary.
Yeah, that shit's crazy though. There's a lot of unseen footage on that because there was a lot of black, like independent photographers.
I don't like how the roles are switched. I'm promoting goofy space shit and you're promoting documentaries.
You're a goofball. Fucking, there was a lot of fucking black independent filmmakers out there, dog, that fucking got a lot of footage, man. That shit, your emotion, it's like an emotional roller coaster on that thing, you know what I'm saying? You fucking, especially as a white person watching it, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I mean, whatever. You feel certain ways on all parts of that movie, on all parts of that shit, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of real shit that goes down. You feel it,
Well, that's the thing where I'm born in 1992, so my whole thing is just like, no, don't assault anybody. I don't, like, it's like, yeah, a man should never hit a woman. It's like, yeah, but how about nobody hit nobody? Type shit, where it's just like, oh, it's a race thing. It's like, we're put down, so now they're gonna attack us. It's like, no. It's like it's supposed to be progress. It's just progressing. But that was a huge step because normally that shit happens over like a long time. But when you have those riots, you kind of like skip some steps. You're like, okay, that popped off.
Yeah.
Like now we can progress faster.
Dude, there was something like, God damn it, I had written the shit down. All the like the death toll and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, there was over $1 billion worth of damage by the time it was done. There was over 11,000 fucking injuries.
So what neighborhoods did this go? Was it like downtown or was
South
it like
Central, Crenshaw,
Compton,
they showed like
Carson,
they showed like
not Hollywood?
No, they literally dispatched all the officers just to protect the freeway exits in nice neighborhoods.
Damn.
Yeah, dude, it really started on like this one street. They show you like on Normandy and something. Like they started out just protesting, and dude was out there and he was like, "What y'all doing?" They were like, "This is some bullshit," you know what I'm saying? They started out protesting, and then all of a sudden you see this one dude come from out of nowhere, and he's got something in his hand, and he's watching cars go by, and he's like, "What you doing?" He's like, "I'm looking for white folks." There's one. Boom! And he starts just busting motherfuckers' windows out, and they were like, "We getting white people?" He was like, "Fuck yeah, get them all." Bam! And they just started fucking people up, and it seemed like that was the beginning.
Nothing is scarier than that mob mentality.
And it just started flashing around the city. They had started over 900 fires at one time during that riot. There was 900 different structures on fire.
Dude, when I went with Spencer and Tom Allen down to, shout out Spencer Callender and Thomas Allen, both comedians. But we went to the Women's March, the first one last year, and there was a point where you're walking, you're like, oh, we're not even a part, you're not even deciding where you're walking in this moment. You're part of a crowd, and just like, oh, I guess we're all turning left. It's just like,
Right.
your legs are moving with the fucking, but like, and then when that happens mentally,
Where'd you go?
the Women's March.
Oh, because they were doing their little characters, right?
The chapter of the,
Yeah, make sure they know that you're not all the way a fucking snowflake sitting beside me.
No, we went down there
We went to the Women's March because we believed in their fucking, you know.
The best interview, and Tom didn't put it in any of the videos, but he talked to this guy for like 20 minutes. He was a fat white guy who was advocating killing all white men. And we just like, we just kept walking him through it, and he didn't get it.
He was a reverse Uncle Ruckus.
It was like, what do you want? Just if you want to die, just kill yourself.
I tell you what we need to do.
Initiate policy.
I tell you what we need to do, goddammit, kill all these white men.
Yeah. I need a purpose to my suicide.
Uncle Ruckus is perhaps the best character on television.
Yeah, he was great. Yeah.
Is that from the
killing yourself. You can't take another person with you.
Yeah, that's fair.
What are some of your
Okay, hey, y'all introduce yourself because there is audio to this podcast too. I always forget that. We just assume that since people see like we're on camera, you know what I'm saying? But this does go on iTunes
On
too.
cell phone.
Yeah.
So
My name's Liam Hales. I'm a comic at Liam Hales on Twitter.
I assume that this was all video, and my name is Kyle Henson. Furthermore, apologize.
Yeah, yo, fuck audio.
Yeah, this is
fuck the theater of the mind. That's the staff record label and the fucking crew.
It's like a silent movie.
And then you listen to podcasts, fuck you too.
Hell yeah. R.I.P. G.I.G. We out here on YouTube. We out here on YouTube. My microphone, make sure all your kids don't grow up. Hell yeah. What'd you do?
I was trying to just like refresh and shit.
I don't know.
That's it. They're popping up.
Hit the dead horse, but Uncle Ruckus, he'd always be talking about Michael Jackson. He got that vitiligo.
He goes, I got reverse vitiligo. What's his name?
What's that, a birth?
Special case at a prestige adds 1 inch to your virtual dick.
Dude, that it's not reverse vitiligo. But my stepmom's cousin, she got a bone marrow transplant from a black lady apparently, and like the pigment of her hair changed and her skin got
Started to
darker.
get frizzy.
Yeah.
Falls out in the shower.
No.
Dude, don't
I
say
live
that.
a li-
Don't talk about shit like that on camera because if Rachel Dolezal hears that.
No, I lived with a black girl and she explained to me how like they can't. It's hard for black women to put their hair under the shower head if it's like heavy pressure. They can like rip their hair out.
Kyle,
fake hair.
you experience this?
Listen, I don't do anything with my hair, so I was just listening to my friend.
I would say there's two parts to it. One is that white people have full length of hair anytime that they want for a lot of their lives. Black people, however, have dreads, right? And just fully on, just huge amounts of hair. So, but also you sometimes see black ladies that have like that haircut that's so short, and the only reason is because their hair keeps falling out. And if you like wash and wash and wash and wash with shampoo, then the shit will fall out.
Oh, I get it. I just daydreamed myself into an answer to that because you know how
I'm not listening.
No, yeah, white people are when our hair gets a certain length. Like I've been with my girlfriends to get their hairs cut before, and like the chick will be like, "Oh, it's dead from here down," and so I guess that's what happens with the black chicks. Yeah, when their hair gets dead at a certain point. It's so frizzy already, it probably just falls out, like you said. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. Because I was thinking, no, their hair's tougher. Like, they got tougher hair.
Well, also,
I might have like straighter and smoother hair. It's tougher. But then I didn't think about once shit gets a certain length, it dies at the end. Yeah.
I like how
But not only that, my mom, she's just Norwegian. They just have thick hair. So when it's just heavy, also, it's just gonna be like, I can lose.
I didn't know. You're a goddamn mixed breed.
No, but I'm saying like the heavy hair. I think it's just the heavy hair. Like it's like an evolutionary thing. It's like, well, you got an extra pound on your fucking head.
What's the evolutionary?
Warm.
Not carrying around an extra pound of hair on your head.
Dude, back to the LA riots. When them fucking
larger,
bang, bang, bang.
Larger hair is a larger pore, also.
Okay, we got the hair. Listen, when the fucking Koreans started defending their shit, bro, that was
because the police weren't coming.
Yeah, well, this Korean radio station made an announcement on the airwaves too, and he was like, because they were so new to the country, they weren't sure what their rights were. Yeah. So that dude looked it up, and he was telling me, he was like, in this country, you have the right to defend yourself and your property, bear arms and all that shit. Man, I thought that it was just a couple Koreans on a building. Holy
Koreatown.
Holy shit. Yeah. They had cars lined up with their headlights on. They were out there with pistols. This reporter was down there trying to like talk to some of them. He was like, yeah. Bow, bow, bow. And I was like, oh shit. She was like, okay, I think we need to get out of here. Because they killed a dude in a car. They was like, oh my God, is that guy hit? Is that guy hit? And you seen the little Asian dude come up? And then he backed away because he could see dude wasn't even moving. And he started shooting at somebody else. Bow, bow, bow. It was fun.
Well, they also, that was either the generation like that were still alive from actual like war in Korea. Like Korea just started being very calm in first world.
Dude, that shit was going down. People were running in people's businesses.
They're like, I guess we got
and just coming out with garbage bags.
Oh yeah.
Just almost nothing sometimes.
I couldn't believe how long that shit lasted. And that's the thing about that documentary. That's the one downfall of that documentary. I think they should have had like a day count. It just keeps telling you dates.
Yeah.
But it should have been like day one.
Did the federal guard get
day three? You know, like that would have been worse because I was sitting there like, God damn, how many days has it been? And then they finally showed the date again, and I was like, I'm having to add it up, and I'm like, they should have kept the fucking day thing, like to show you the progress of like how heated it stayed, how serious it stayed.
Did the National Guard get called in?
Yeah, they had to call them in. They had to consider it a state of emergency. Like I said, there was over 900 structures on fire.
It's the biggest riot. It's the biggest riot in LA.
They still consider it the biggest civil disruption in American history. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's only it's LA, but also it kicked off shit in fucking like 45 cities in the United States.
Can you imagine being the only
guy?
guy?
I guess shit's popping off. Let's try it.
You're the only guy in Toledo, Ohio, like, like, sir, calm down.
Well, that's.
But Rodney King, man, that's another thing. He doesn't. I don't know. Like they need to do. I'm sure they have done documentaries on him, but they need to do a newer one because of the character of that man. You know, like even from day one, when he was sitting there with his eye bloodied and fucked up, and when they asked him, they said, when they were beating you, did you hear any racial slurs? He goes, no, I ain't hear nothing like that. I just was getting beat. Like and then the dude was like, him and his family want to make this clear that they don't want to make this a racial thing. Like he was like from day one, like being straightforward about shit. Then when he came in later and the thing at the end and did that speech where he's like, can we just get along? You know what I'm saying? Like you making it hard on the old people and the kids in the neighborhood, and that ain't fair, type shit. Dude, how like well he delivered that speech, the emotion he had in that speech, he don't get enough credit for that. That needs to be up there with one of the great speeches. You know, that helped end a lot of that shit. You know, when people seen him on TV, like, come on, man, let's just get along.
And at that time, like, we got so many videos now of every single thing that could ever happen. That was the one video that they showed on TV, and that everybody watched, like the Super Bowl.
Oh, there was T-shirts. I mean, even in Atlanta, Georgia, we had T-shirts. Can we all just get along? Let's get along. Shit like that. Like, it was huge, man.
Special case, the only thing you need to make white people right is a championship.
Yeah, fucking. I was in Boston, 2001, when the Patriots won their first Super Bowl. There was a huge riot right next to the neighborhood of my college, and I was on the football team at the time, and a bunch of kids on the football team wound up getting picked out of like camera phone videos and whatnot, and then the cops brought them in, and then they're like, listen, you have to start pointing out who people are, or everything about all the damage is going to go on you. And it was like $1 million worth of damage right there.
Start narking now.
Yeah, and the guy was just like, I know that guy, I know that guy, I know that guy, I know that guy. Because they were like, we're going to take away your scholarships, we're going to like.
Well, and they're from Massachusetts, so I mean.
See, that's the difference. That's the difference. Like, you know, me being so close to black people and having love for them, where I just put my head down because I'm like, you know, white people, we riot because our team won a championship. Yeah. You know, these white people had to riot because they fucking had a man on tape getting beat to death, and they were like, not guilty.
Oh yeah.
Come on.
A girl died after the Red Sox Yankees.
And what they showed before that, that kind of got masked by Ronnie King thing was that Natalie girl, that Korean fucking lady in that store. She shot her in the back of the fucking head, and she tried to say she was stealing an orange juice. She was going to her car to get change or some shit.
Well, that's like when
they were like, you know, she was like a honor student. She was a very well mannered girl. She would have never been stealing an orange juice. And that lady shot her in the back of the head. And so that was the fuel behind attacking the Koreans during the riot. They already had heat with the Koreans because the judge gave that fucking lady just probation. She was facing 16 years and didn't even have to do 1 day in jail. That's where it's fucked up. It's like, I understand the fact that she was an old Korean lady and she was never going to be a threat to society and probably never kill again. But at least give her a year to set the example to the other motherfuckers around that neighborhood that own stores. You can't just shoot someone's fucking brains out and get probation for it. Come on.
Well, did they? It might also been they let her off just because they didn't want, because obviously her defense was going, like, her lawyers were going to be like, well, where did the police funnel the rioters to?
They went to riot. This wasn't a riot situation.
Oh,
this was before the riot. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
This happened before the riot, just 1 day. This was just a
afternoon.
Right. It was like after school.
That gets weird.
Yeah, this happened after school. The little girl got off of school and went to get a fucking orange juice and got her fucking brains blown out.
She went to go get anything.
It didn't matter. Yeah, and then fucking, and then they gave that woman only probation. That's fucking insane.
Like, you can't just blow somebody's brains out and then just only get a counselor to talk to you.
Yeah,
well,
so that's why
lawyers you can.
That's why, like I said, there's a lot of emotional roller coaster in that show because then
Korean lawyers.
You're like, these motherfuckers, you know. And then when they start attacking the Koreans, and then it shows that old Korean lady, and she's going, "It's not fair! It's not fair!" She looked like
some guy ran in past her. This is America. And he goes, "Yeah." Anyway,
I hated to fucking laugh during that moment. But she's like old and chubby, and she looked like one of the dragons that they go through the streets with and shit. She looked like the head. She was like, "It's not fair!" Because I felt bad because her business is burning to the ground in the background, and they're telling her the fire department can't come down here, ma'am. Sorry.
And then people are still looting,
and she's going, "It's not fair!" And I was just like, "Oh, she looks funny." Nah, she looked funny. It wasn't funny. It was not funny.
You heard it here first,
dude.
Folks.
It's a great.
Asian people look funny
when they're crying, or I love little
everybody looks
Asians,
funny when they're crying.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Like, that was when I used to bounce in college. Before I realized not to show emotion, I would actually get angry with customers. And when I get angry, it looks like I'm about to cry. I had the hardest, and I also was like a baby face because I couldn't grow facial hair yet. So. People they didn't take me seriously other than if this guy got a hold of me, I'm gonna have some problems, but we're gonna keep poking him. because he's clear, like we're clearly getting.
And she got a very calming voice, Leo. You know?
Yeah,
and so, I can imagine you being like, "Hey, sir, could you just calm down? Please calm down for me." And I'll be like, "No, motherfucker, I ain't calming shit."
No. Back then, I just go up to guys and be like, "Hey, man, you gotta go." And they're like, "What? I haven't done it." I'm like, "You gotta go. You're stumbling. You're drunk. Get the fuck out." And I was just like all business, and I didn't really learn to be like, "Hey, what's going on, man? You having a good time?" Now, like if I bounce, I kind of let drunk people like have a good time until it's like
obnoxious.
Yeah, it's like now you're just breaking social like cues and norms.
That's when they start making people uncomfortable.
Yeah. When you like, there's this. The last time I bounced, there was a 7-foot guy. He turned to like a 5-foot girl, and he goes, "I didn't do anything wrong. They're throwing me out." And I was like, "You just did something wrong, like right there."
Just frightened that tiny girl.
You accosted a stranger.
She's like, "I'm not a god! This is a man of God! Oh, this is wrong! This is not a man of God!"
Oh my God, that's funny you said that. That one scene in that LA Riot shit, this chick, that Asian chick was standing in front of her store in the broken window with her arms spread. And she was screaming, "This is America! This is America!" When they were trying to get past her and shit, she was like, "Get away! This is America!" And this one big motherfucker, he just was like,
That's powerful.
he went right past her. He went right past her and she was like, still blocking him, and she was going, "Get out! Get out! This is America!" He came right back out with like a whole shirt full of shit.
That's fucking powerful.
I know, man. It's a great fucking thing, man. I was in my van glued to that shit.
No one knows or appreciates America harder than fucking foreigners.
Yeah, that's why.
When you're fresh off the boat, you're like, "This is. I was promised a fucking dream. Stop! Like this is not what this place was supposed to be."
Yeah, like you feel for him because there's like that one man with the little Asian dude with the hat. He was like, "I live here. I didn't. I live here. He started breaking down crying. I was like, "Damn, bro, that sucks." He was like, "That's my livelihood, and I live here too,
Yeah.
So, Mitch, as a foreigner, how do you feel about living in our country?
Well, as a new member of ISIS, I feel we have to
snap.
Yeah.
You seen it here, folks. Cloudy and Rowdy podcast takes up for America. The Eastern Army, don't fucking fail me.
Invitation to the Oval Office.
Like those dudes on that fucking train in France. They stopped that dude with the AK-47. Is Clint Eastwood only making movies about like patriotic acts now?
He's only doing stuff that allows him to go to the Pentagon.
He's just trying to get that top secret.
Yeah.
He's doing his frequent flyer miles.
He's always been a hero. He's always been a hero.
Oh yeah, but it's like a video game. Every time you go back to the Pentagon, it's a little bit deeper, and next thing you know,
he's in a Tom Clancy movie.
Gran Torino. Right before Clint Eastwood dies, I'm calling it now. He's gonna make an Area 51 movie.
Every producer, every movie goes to aliens.
But it's
what? The Indiana Jones series. Think about it.
That was so good.
The last one.
What the fuck?
Right? My buddy Ian.
That was so silly.
He was like on the way there. Me and him went and seen the movie together and shit. Shout out to my boy Ian Townsend down there in Tampa, putting fucking 38-inch tires on fucking Jeeps, making them crawl over mountains and shit. Anyway, fucking we went and seen that movie, and on the way there, he was like, "I have a bad feeling about it, Tom." I was like, "What?" He goes, "I just feel like they're gonna bring fucking aliens or something into this movie." He called the fuck out of that shit. And I was like, "What are you talking about?" And he was like, "Think about it, they have nowhere else to go." And fucking he called the hell out of it. I was like, when that alien shit started happening, I was like,
The Christmas.
You know what they should have done?
goddamn movie prophet.
You know what they should have done? Instead of the aliens, they should have reincarnated some Nazis and gone with Hitler made it to Argentina. And
fuck yeah.
And
some
actual
plausible stuff. Like
The problem is,
something that's supported by FBI.
He should have died in the first 20 minutes. He was in a refrigerator after a nuclear explosion, and the refrigerator flew fucking 10 football fields and lands in the desert. He just walks out of it, dusts his shirt off.
Well, yeah, he's Indiana Jones. He can do whatever he wants.
That is a scene in a movie.
Yeah, I didn't have a problem with that.
That was hilarious.
He put himself in a refrigerator to protect himself from a nuke.
From Nuketown. He was in a Nuketown. That's where they get. I think that's the fucking Nuketown that we fight in on Call of Duty.
No, there's a bunch of those. That's where like they set up like model
it's like
model neighborhoods to see the effects of a nuclear bomb.
It creates a vacuum.
Imagine that.
Dude, you guys ever seen the Green Mile?
Did y'all?
Well, no. They introduced magic at the end, almost like aliens. It's
the whole thing was magic.
Wait, what?
Wow, whoa. When he blew the green stuff, that's the first time you've seen that.
No, yeah. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Green Mile. He grabbed Tom Hanks' nuts and took away his like DB.
Yeah.
And then
we saw that a completely different way.
It was a Steven.
He did it. Steven Cell.
I saw him grab his nuts and be like, "Whoa, Tom!"
And then you were like,
you remember? And then he released all them black
kids
out of the movie, out of the window.
yeah, it's a Stephen King book. It's like Stephen King always does something
I feel
supernatural.
like they introduced magic halfway through, and him just grabbing Tom Hanks' nuts was just
Listen, dude.
an intro.
What y'all
It's
didn't
Tom
know?
Hanks Me Too
I
moment.
thought he was flirting with him.
It's Tom Hanks Me Too moment.
Cypher Koufax is now chasing Hitler in space. Breaking news. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
For those who don't know,
Well, back to Indiana Jones.
I created a sci-fi character named Cypher Koufax, and he's chasing Space Jason. Okay, because the Jason series had nowhere else to go but to space, right?
They did Jason X.
Jason X, that's what I was saying. That's what sparked Cypher Koufax, was joking about how ridiculous Jason X is. And I feel like that's the only place left for Hitler. I feel like that's the only place left for Hitler to go now too. You know what I'm saying? Every hack open micer and major comedian has done a Hitler joke. They continue to try to do them. They fucking constantly talk about him. There's documentaries, but yet to send him to space to fucking take over a planet, get a planet full of aliens following him, and try to come back to Earth and get Earth that way. But Cypher Koufax is there to stop him, everybody, and I can fucking promise you that. Bang, bang, bang.
Have you seen Iron Sky?
Do you not, you want to ask a stupid question like that after I just freestyled a whole makeshift scenario? How about saying, God damn, that was amazing, bro. You just made that shit up off the top of your head? Fuck yeah, I did.
So the plot of Iron Sky is Hitler doesn't die and he just hides out on the dark side of the moon and all the Nazis are just living on the moon.
Oh, well,
Iron Sky, that's
different.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
But I'm talking about he goes to fucking Mars and finds
Not the moon, it's Mars.
Yeah, and finds an
I'm
army
supposed
of
to be impressed by Mars.
finds an army of
Fuck, give me
aliens.
Jupiter at least.
Fuck Jupiter. You can't land on Jupiter.
Yeah, you can't.
The atmosphere will tear you to shreds.
Yeah.
Everybody knows that.
Everybody knows that. Yeah.
You weigh like 1,000
He's so
times
smart,
more.
but
Fucking smart guy here thinks we're gonna go.
The
to
Nazis
Jupiter.
aren't on any of these planets.
Yeah, but when you go to Titan or Europa,
Technically, it's
What about
also,
that?
near Jupiter.
What about
Let's
that?
go to one of these moons.
The Easter Army.
it's also pretty difficult to live on the other side of the moon.
Hitler can do anything. Why? Why? Because there's Transformers there. Everybody knows that.
oh, I never trusted the
You don't fuck
Decepticon.
with Voltron?
Yeah.
this episode brought to you by LSD.
Oh, which I did do last weekend or whenever the fuck I did it. It was great. It was a fun time to beam around LA. And but actually, this is how, you know, like I've said before, people, I got bad luck. If it was raining pussy, I get hit with a dick. Okay? The night I take the night I take LSD, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna walk down Hollywood Boulevard and check out all the freaky deaky motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? Perfect time. But it was like the night after the Oscars, and they still had all them big black fucking gates and barriers up, so there was fucking no one out. It sucked. I walked from La Brea to Highland, which is how many blocks? What, about 4 or 5 blocks probably? Man, I walked like 10 minutes down the strip, seen 3
Not
people.
10 minutes.
Seen 3 people, not one woolly bully. It fucking sucked. You know what I'm saying? There wasn't a drunk Spider-Man, no fucking body out there. You know? So,
Yeah.
I got lucky though when
Mexican Elsa.
when I was going down Highland, I seen this pile of pink skulls in some window, and I was just like, only when you're on some shit like this will you see that. Like I walked down that road a lot and never looked over and
Did
seen
you go
that.
back the next day?
Dude, I ran across the street that night. What's funny was, okay, 'cause I run across the street and you gotta jump up on the curb out here because they're high, right? I jump up on the curb and there's a meth head right there with his lighter. And when I jumped on the curb, he goes, "Oh shit, man! Hell, boy, you scared me. I'm sitting here tweaking out looking for my rock." And I was like, and I go, "It's cool, man. I'm just tripping on acid. I'm gonna look at these pink skulls." kept looking for his shit, you know?
Lost the rock. That shit.
I took a picture of them skulls and got the fuck out of there, you know what I mean?
Dude, that's another level, like searching for a crack rock or something in a carpet. When you're already zipping, and then you're like, oh shit, we lost it. And then you're just like you will look through every grain of the carpet.
Speaking of that, and Liam,
I know what it's like to like eat too much.
No, I don't know what that's like. I'm not giving like an experience. I'm saying, can you imagine that? Like, an upper, losing an upper, where you're like looking for your meth.
Let me tell you how creative they are. Okay, this is what meth heads will do. My buddy Ian, shouts out to him again. He bought this house in Georgia. He tried to start flipping houses for a while. So he bought this house from this meth family owned. And so we found this room. We found this room in the basement, and in the back corner they had rolled out sheets of wallpaper, right? And you could see where they would like drop their fucking meth or their crack, and then they would vacuum the carpet up and take the vacuum bags down there, open them, and dump them on that wallpaper shit and spread it out and look for it.
See, that's what I'm talking about. That's the kind of stories I like to hear.
Bang, bang, bang. You know what I'm saying? And that's the type of shit you're going to get on the Cloudy Ride.
They solved how to pick it up with spreading it together and vacuuming.
I've never really had a problem with meth.
Human ingenuity.
But because usually people on meth are at least do you favors for free. It's like, I'll give you $2 to vacuum my house. It's just like, all right.
I'll give you 10 not to steal from it.
My mom's sister was just doing speed for the longest time. She would just show up at our house at midnight with a tool belt and just tighten all the screws in our house.
Dude, the OG.
It's like, hey.
I don't like any drug that makes people blink a lot.
Dude, the big homie in the hood, up in Buford, Shell Mel, shouts out to Shell Mel. He got a little crackhead named Turbo. And Turbo, you give him a fucking rocket, and he built Shell's whole fucking studio. He built his whole thing, and Shell would just break them off slabs all day and shit. Like every day after work, Shell would give him a $50 worth of crack. That motherfucker would come back every morning and just keep building. Buying beer and crack.
That's the thing I don't like about Dare.
And that place is
the stats in general. You never hear the positive drug stories.
That'd be the greatest YouTube channel.
Appreciate it.
You only get the stats that people are really like.
Would you watch crackheads building IKEA furniture?
No.
Yes.
I think it'd be hilarious. Yeah, but if you put a camera up in Skyview and left them alone in a room, didn't have the crew in there and just let them go, smoke a bowl and put this dresser together.
With the tools that it comes with.
Yeah.
That little bag. And just, I don't have to do this shit.
You would just place multiple GoPros.
You fuck our crowds up.
Yeah, just have GoPros throughout the apartment, catching different angles. So.
Would you have to hide them? Because
they would know.
Doesn't crack make you paranoid?
You could do it like what's the thing
I've
where
never
you get
smoked
positive
crack.
reinforcement on the shit you do, and the guy studied it. You would know this, but anyway, there's a guy that studied Pavlov law. So whenever they would put together a new section or follow a new step, a little crack rock would come out of a tube, and they're like, they fucking smoke their crack, and then they get right back to doing their work because they wanted a new one to come out of the top, and you could put them bitches together like what? Have a whole fucking room full of these motherfuckers separated by rope because they will try to steal each other.
How much crack do you have? There's 1,000 steps to even put an end table together.
The government has endless crack.
Yeah.
Oh, so we need to get a government sponsor for this. I was like, all right, as long as we have a plan.
Like any intellectual institution.
They put it in DC.
This YouTube channel brought to you by the NSA.
Shout out to the guy who brought me out. Do they assign you a guy?
Who?
The NSA?
Or do they just save everything?
Well, I mean, yeah.
I bet they assign you a profile.
They can spy on any one of these cameras.
No,
No,
No, it's not that they're spying. It's that all of this data is being split into two. While one goes to the mainstream population, the other one goes to the data storage site in Utah, which can hold the next 1,000 years of internet, or whatever it is. And so they just have double copies of everything.
No, but that's what I'm saying
Which is crazy.
That's almost Minority Report level where it's if they want to, anybody wants to blackmail you and they have access to that, they're like, oh, well, look what you looked up in 2007.
So actually, I just watched Bill Binney. Bill Binney's the NSA whistleblower, and he was he was saying that before he left, he was trying to make because he left at like the beginning of the Obama administration, like somewhere year 1 or 2, and he was trying to make the case that it's okay to do this in terms of like metadata of what you can collect, as long as you did two jumps from a person, but don't make the second jump. But neither of the jumps can be a corporation. It has to be an actual person. They went against that. So now the way it is that, like, let's say that I'm under surveillance and they have all my information and they're looking at all the people on my phone. They're like, who's this Tom? Who's this Mitch?
Right.
How do we get to him? They go, well, Liam's been on Google. We can now get to you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
As
long as you've done any type of public forum, it's public access.
And so basically, like, there could be a hardcore ISIS guy somewhere who's been on Google, right? And because I've been on Google, I can now be brought into his web.
And what's that? But what's that do?
It just makes it so that they can follow. They have
now he's open to be.
They have everything. They can collect everything on it. And the thing is, the government's collecting all. Yeah, they collect all this information so that eventually, if something happens where they really need me to help them out, they can go, oh, hey, well, what did you buy from? This wasn't an Amazon site that you bought from. What'd you buy? You want to tell? And then let's say I bought.
What are you out there buying, Liam?
A lot of coconut.
Well, let me ask you: have you noticed, when you're talking about someone and they'll pop up as an ad on your social media?
Yeah.
The other night, we were all talking about candy bars.
Yep.
Have you guys had any candy? I've had a Snickers,
and
a Three Musketeers has been on my Instagram the last couple of days because of this conversation we all had.
But that's the thing with this. Like, I forget who said it, but it's like if you're looking at like Facebook or Instagram, if you're not paying for it, you are the product. They're collecting everything that you were just showing me the analytics of Instagram earlier.
Yeah.
And it'll tell you everything because it's collecting all this shit and it sells it to advertisers. And now Instagram was great for 5 years, and all of a sudden it's like sponsored ad every fucking 15 scrolls.
It's not very expensive to find out exactly what happened.
No, it's just a world we're gonna live in.
You pay it to whatever company, and then they're like, oh, dude, you could do people from here, people talking about this, people that like this, and that are dating girls named Rachel.
Yeah, but the problem Liam was talking about was after the NDAA, they're allowed anybody suspected of terrorism, and then they make that link where they can link anybody to anybody. If under the NDAA, you can indefinitely detain somebody for fucking as long as you want because they're suspected of terrorism through a network.
But it also doesn't even have to get to the terrorist part because like just think of like Michael Flynn. What they got Michael Flynn on was lying to the FBI. That's what he pleaded guilty to. And so basically, they had a phone call that he had with somebody, which, and let's say you discuss something, that's just private,
Chat room said we said ISIS so much that the NSA is watching.
Sometimes it feels like somebody's watching me.
But let's just say you just want to keep something private. You don't want to tell anybody about that. So, when you do that, and they ask, let's say they ask me a question of like, so why'd you talk to so and so, and I make up a lie just because I don't want to tell them why, because it's a very personal thing. That's breaking the law.
Now you're suspect.
No, now I'm guilty, and now they because lying to the FBI comes with like a 3-year sentence or something. Crazy.
Oh, how dope would it be?
Most people don't.
That might be wrong. I'm making that up off the top of my head, but I know it's significant.
An Easter fact.
Asian lady shoots other lady in the back of the head. Probation. Lying to the FBI.
3 years.
Let's go.
I know most normal people don't ever.
Hey, you raped a 3-year-old girl? Here's 6 months.
I just want to Google it just so the NSA knows that.
You have a grandma
you're
you're
going to
do 10 years.
With exactly what I'm saying.
Most normal people don't come across the FBI. Anyway.
What was the longest you served for weed?
Shit, like 9 months.
People get like less than that for raping children, and they're just like, a criminal's a criminal. I mean, I'm on the arm of the law.
I went back for violation of probation for 6 months before, just for having dirty piss. They violated me for 6 months. They took a year, so you get 2 for 1 county. So by the way, that whole 6 months I was in county jail. I didn't get the luxury of going to prison or prison work camp, which I know sounds weird, but if you know anything about the system, it's way better in a prison or a prison work camp than any county jail out there. The fucking county jails are horrible.
Yeah,
You're telling me, man.
I've looked at the plot of it, and it's a small cell with a really small kind of living room area, and then like the showers and the toilets, and that's it. There's no like.
Nothing. Yeah, no. There's most of them are set up with like a downstairs. It's all 2 men's cells with a toilet and a mirror, right? And then upstairs, same way. And then you'll have a shower area with like 5 or 6 stalls where everybody goes in and just showers. You know, y'all take turns. Most of the time they don't all work, so there's only 2 or 3 working at a time. So only 2 or 3 people can go in at a time. And then you got a bunch of urinals and a bunch of shitters, and that's what you get. And then if you're lucky, you'll be in a county with like a microwave in the day area. So like you can order your ramen soups and some of them have the cup of noodles, and then then you can make them actually warm and shit, And most county jails have 2 TVs because they know that there's going to be a division in race, So in Georgia, the blacks and the whites had to share a TV. The Mexicans got their own TV, because there's so many Mexicans,
Well, it's also a different language.
So they just have their own TV.
That's probably a big thing.
They give the blacks and the whites different TVs because the blacks speak Ebonic.
Oh yeah, how many years?
It's not more than 5 years, unless it's terrorism. Then it's not more than 8 years for making false. Even if
they say, "Hey, are you Thomas Easter?" I say no.
Yep.
What if they say
even merely denying guilt to a federal agent could be used as lying to the FBI.
But that's what I'm saying. Most normal people don't ever see FBI come across them.
Dude, I'll fight the FBI.
No, it's true.
I'll punch them and stuff.
It's still one of those things of like, depending on who, who's got the levers of power. Do we want those people when you do run into them? Do you want to fucking deal with that? And that seems like a little bit too much. Because federal people are kind of like aliens. Like them. I kind of think
Men in Black and shit.
Yeah, I kind of think of them all like Men in Black. Just all guys who are like, get the fuck out of here.
Which, by the way,
I'm just gonna push you over and keep moving.
Way better.
Oh, which by the way, when I was tripping,
there's dudes who came out of some lady's vagina.
When I was tripping that night, man, I went back to the pen and watched Men in Black 1. That shit was great, dude. That movie still holds up.
Men in Black is
21 years.
He fucking blows that dude's head off in the punch up, and it grows back. It hurts. I'm like, whoa! I went out that shit twice.
My favorite part was
Shout out Tony
Shalhoub to the little pawn shop or whatever, and he was like, "Oh, that dude's definitely an alien," and he was like, "Come on!" And then the other one popped up, the dog. Right? The dog was like,
"Oh yeah, the little fucking pug and shit." Yeah, he was freaking me out that night.
Frank.
He was kind of freaky.
You ain't too perfect yourself there.
Men in Black 2 was a little better. They got an established.
Right.
It's not better.
Yeah,
I like Bismarcky working at the post office.
Yeah, I thought Men in Black 2 was
And then they open up like the sorting machine, and it's just a guy smoking a cigarette with like 14 arms.
Oh yeah, that shit was badass. He's like the fax machine or whatever the fuck he was. Yeah,
that's a fax machine.
And them little earthworm Jim looking motherfuckers, they were cool, man.
Yeah.
What's up? Hey, I got your coffee, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying?
I kind of like to.
Hey, bring that bitch in here. Their skirt up and shit.
Will got into his role before he was like a young cat who had to chase the dude down.
NYPD,
and then
knock your punk ass down.
Now he can be cynical towards the whole.
Yeah.
Oh. Back in the day, you was like, flush me, Jay, flush me.
Are they gonna make a Women in Black?
Oh, they just did Ocean's 8
as well.
So
you heard it here first. WIB.
They're supposed to be doing Men in Black 21 Jump Street right now.
A mashup?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know.
Because Jonah Hill and Will Smith would be.
We've done stuff for them.
Was 21 Jump Street a
It's a legit.
Yeah.
Well, no, not the original.
The
original one was like a teenage.
That's the one with Ice Cube, right?
It was like a teenage one.
Yeah, I remember the original.
Yeah.
Johnny
Okay.
Depp.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying, like, was it because Men in Black's a comic, so I could see that if like 21 Jump Street at one time was due, they could write it in together.
Well, the new.
But why the fuck are they mashing that?
Have you seen the new 21 Jump Street?
No.
With Jonah Hill and Tatum Chan?
Nah, I didn't.
Yeah, so that one is just that's just flat out comedy. That they're not even pretending that it's anything but an action comedy.
They're running out of shit, man. They're
why don't they create new shit? Well,
hey, somebody said, Special K said, if you're lucky, you get your homeboys with the kitchen crew and shit. That's right. Listen, bro. A tip for motherfuckers that still might be in and out of jail. Ask the block office, ask the block leader or whatever for a request form and request to be put on inmate workforce and pray you get kitchen crew, dog. Because that's the best. You get to eat all you want and shit, you know what I'm saying? You get to bring shit back to the dorm and trade it.
If you're listening to this,
we need to call this a segment.
Shouts out to my cousin Hank in the fucking chain gang right now. Cuzzo, aka Shank. Uncle Donnie, the hard time.
I think he's just talking back on nostalgia. He's like, man, you really want to have a good time. We could get that request form, dog. And I'm like, well, that doesn't. First of all, you're in jail, bro.
I have no idea.
They can't deny you.
Your request form I-92-73. Like he's got it.
Down the motherfucking request form, and then you send it back with the officer with the mail. When people hand in their mail, you hand them the request form. He signs it and gives you a copy. It comes with like a yellow copy. That way, if you don't get it back, you can show the captain, yo man, I fucking filled out this request form. Here's the signature where the officer took it from. And he'll be like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
No,
they gotta answer you.
how come you can't just rip it?
No, they gotta answer you even if it says denied. Like you still get it back in mail. You'll get it with mail call, and then it'll say either we've accepted your offer, or we've accepted your thing, and we'll let you know when you're getting moved into work block, or they'll say denied. If you're an asshole, if you're a violent criminal or shit like that, you can't go in there. It's for people like me that was like in there for weed shit, violation of probation people, minor charge people.
Minor, like 6 to 9 months.
Motherfuckers that ain't nuts and gonna be trying to bully them
Do violent criminals ever find themselves in like the open dorms, or are they always in a cell?
It depends on how much time they've done there too. And
they're like a 50-year-old man, and he's like,
and then
I was a dumb kid.
Yeah, exactly. And then because you only if you get prison time, you only stay in county until the bus comes. So it could be 2 weeks. It could be 2 weeks, or it could be 3-4 months. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes because like if you're going to like what they call a halfway house, you gotta wait for a bunk to open. And a halfway house is the best of the best because you get to leave and go to work in the real world and shit, but you just pay the people rent. But you gotta go back every night. It's kind of like work release, but a more lenient version of work release. You know, because work release is when you come back, you gotta still put on that jumpsuit. The people have to still come there to visit you and shit. You know.
Do you feel like that either helps people in general or you specifically to rehabilitate, or do you feel like the whole system?
Them halfway houses and work release is just a way for county to drain you of your money because you got to pay them rent.
That's it.
All right, but like prison work camps are a good way for prisoners who've done like 10 years or more to go there and get used to going back outside and seeing what the real world looks like again, seeing the newer, what shit looks like, a new car, a new person, so it's not such a shock. They just can't, you can't do 12 years and then just get let out in the world. Yeah, I mean, I knew a dude, I was like a dude who missed the whole 1990s. He got arrested in 1989, he got sentenced and arrested in 1989. He didn't get out until 2000. And then we were back in jail together in like 2002 because he was just like, man, I tried to make it, man. He fucking stole a bunch of suits. Them Steve Harveys. He was like, man, I had me a bunch of Steve Harveys. And fucking, I was just like, damn, bro. So that shit's good for people, I think, that prison work camp because it helps them get used to, fucking shit like that. But most of that shit's just a money trap or like, I mean, there is it does good for some people. You'll see people come into county jail cracked up and sucked up, and then by the time, like 2 weeks later, after not being able to do that shit, and eat real meals that have like a balanced nutrition, fucking, they'll be like, you'd be surprised the size some of them get. Like when they come in to when they leave, holy shit, it's amazing.
Right. I'm a new man. I've got another 6 months of doing meth under my belt.
Yeah, they do. And then they come again 2 years later or something, and they'll be fucking back in there.
Hey, Portland's got this thing called Faces of Meth, where they take pictures of people every time they get arrested, and they show you how you're downgrading. And they're like, this is 2 years, and it's like 24 pictures, and boom, people just, by the end, they look like Schmeagol from fucking Hogwarts or whatever. I don't know.
They got 14.
Somebody said, hey,
it is very much like Schmeagol the Golem.
Somebody said we need to call Will Smith and make the WIP song. I already got it. Shut the hell up. God, you're such an annoying fuck. We are the one in black. Our periods don't sync up. Hey! Bang, bang, bang.
Yeah, I love how earlier we were talking about hair.
Copywritten.
We were talking about hair, and I was the darkest person out here, and I'm half light skinned, half black guy, and I'm like, well, technically speaking, if you use it a lot, then
Ding, ding, ding. Kyle loves to bring up the fact that he's half black, people. He never lets it get by.
This is our sitcom 3 3/5 men.
Make sure, hey, one more time, make sure you know.
Mitch is Montenegro.
And Mitch is definitely Aborigines. Okay, 5 minutes.
Oh, that was a good joke.
Tell them where they can find you.
I usually follow Easter in real life, like just like a block behind me.
He thinks I don't know. He thinks I don't know, but I know. It makes me feel safe.
You think he's joking too.
And I move the hips a little more.
It's I got Kyle Henson.
At Liam Hales on Twitter, Liam Hales NH on Instagram, and I have a comedy album for sale on iTunes, Google Play, or Amazon called Please Forgive Me. Thank you.
Woo! Woo! At MITCHELLFILLUP. Instagram and Twitter. Don't trust the Turks.
You can find me anywhere on the side of the road under a good shade tree. In my van of life, trying to stay cool, goddammit. I love you bad motherfuckers. Thanks for being the Easter Army. Remember, every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 4:20, I'm on Periscope, and every Saturday live on YouTube at 4:30. Once again, thanks for blazing in.